Imagine an India where the spark of Christianity spreads like wildfire due to the faithfulness of one man. Meet Saint Thomas, the Apostle of India, whose true name was Judas, but was called Thomas, meaning twin, to avoid confusion with Judas the betrayer. After Jesus' ascension into heaven, the apostles were empowered by the Holy Spirit at Pentecost and set out to spread the good news of Christ. While the other apostles determined their paths through divination, Thomas had a unique mission given directly by Jesus. Thomas was to journey to India, where he would live in the Himalayas spiritually united with Jesus. Jesus destined Thomas for a work unlike that of the other apostles, to become his spiritual twin, mirroring Jesus both inwardly and outwardly. Thomas initially resisted this overwhelming task, but a divine intervention changed his course. A government official from India sought an architect in Israel for his king, and Jesus manifested physically to sell Thomas as a slave to this man. With a signed document from Jesus, Thomas abandoned his resistance and embarked on his mission to India. In India, Thomas followed the steps of his master, becoming his twin in all things, both spiritually and physically. Thomas' journey took him to the Himalayas, where Jesus appeared to him and reunited with Thomas spiritually. Thomas lived as Jesus' twin there until he received an inner call to return to the West. He returned to witness the Virgin Mary's departure from earthly life, arriving just in time to see her radiant body ascend from the tomb. Mary, with loving tenderness, threw her belt to Thomas, blessing him and leaving him with a precious relic. Thomas took the Virgin Mother's belt back to India, where it became the most valued treasure of his disciples. The belt was later taken to Syria, where it disappeared during times of upheaval, only to be rediscovered by Patriarch Zachariah. The belt's simple touch began to work great miracles, and most of it was returned to India, enshrined in a great church. Thousands of Christians, Hindus, and Muslims gather every Saturday for the sacred Eucharist and to ask the Virgin Mary to pray for them, witnessing countless miracles. Before returning to South India, Thomas visited the Essene communities in Israel, urging some to join him in his spiritual work. Many Essenes accompanied Thomas to South India, starting several churches and places of worship and leaving behind historical records of their presence. Thomas was often mistaken for Jesus in South India, and they were also seen speaking together in ethereal light as Jesus manifested his presence to Thomas. In Mylapore, Thomas was pierced with a lance on December 19 as a witness to his faith, but did not die until December 21, in the year 72 AD. His tomb became a site of many miracles. Marco Polo visited Thomas' tomb in 1292, taking some of the red-colored earth back to Venice, where it healed many people. The disciples of Saint Thomas, known as Ishani, were devout Brahmin Christians who integrated seamlessly into Hindu society. Ancient records refer to the Saint Thomas Christians as Nasaeans, indicating their esoteric Christian character and affinity with the Essenes. The Ishani integrated Christianity and were considered a sampradaya within Sanatana Dharma, not a separate religion, and were an integral part of Hindu society. In 345 AD, the ruler of Kannalur gave the Ishani a suburb, which they renamed Mahadevapattanam, the city of Mahadeva. The Ishani distinctive ways and identity were preserved until the arrival of Portuguese colonialists, who pressured them to abandon their cultural form of Christianity and convert to a more Western style. In 1599, Archbishop Menezes summoned the Ishani clergy, forcing them to surrender their precious manuscripts, which were then burned. Despite the loss of their heritage, the Ishani legacy lives on, with many still identifying their Christianity with Hinduism and campaigning to return to their roots. The crowning glory of St. Thomas Christianity was Bishop St. Gregorios of Paromala, Kerala. The tomb of St. Gregorios in Paromala is visited daily by tens of thousands of pilgrim Hindus, Christians, and Muslims for whom it flows miracles and blessings beyond counting. Today, there are even reports of Eucharistic miracles in Kerala, which we will cover in future videos. The story of St. Thomas and his disciples is a testament to the enduring power of Christian faith and the unbreakable bond between master and disciple. Keep the legacy alive, and let the spirit of Christian unity and love guide you.